tuned in to Crazy Minded Podcasting. You know, I go by the name of Cash.
Katie Spencer, aka KRAZEE-DEE.
Semi, or some people call me semi-automatic.
Yeah, this is our first episode of Crazy Minded Podcast, and basically what we want to do is introduce ourselves today, give y'all a little background where we come from, and give y'all an idea of what to stay in tune for. So, my name is Cash. I come from Los Angeles, California, but I do like to claim two areas of Southern California, the IE and LA, because a big majority of my life I've been back and forth. I'm an apartment baby. I grew up, you know, around the gangbangers and the struggle. Same, everybody here got pretty much the same story. I don't know if you want to say something, Katie, and give a little background of you. I'm a rapper, you know, and I'm here to tell y'all about mental health, conspiracies, give y'all the message of what's going on in the government, and more importantly, give you mental health advice and give you an understanding why it's so important for young dudes coming out of our environments, and you know, and being understanding how much negativity a human could consume to where you might feel like you don't get no love, or you might feel depressed. So that's part of my background why I'm doing this podcast.
Yeah, bringing enlightenment. That's my portion of it. Awareness, kind of similar to what I already kind of do, just putting a little extra on it. From LA, been shit in LA County my whole damn life. Growing up, yeah. Shout out to everybody in the city.
You know, Katie, you don't need no introduction. He already YouTubed up, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's my big cousin. If y'all don't know, if y'all see some of the similarities in the brothers. Silmar, what you want to say? What you bring into the podcast and what's your vision on it?
Opening people up, you know what I'm saying? Just opening people up to some stuff that I think or what we think, like, you know what I'm saying, our similarities, comparisons, you know what I'm saying, how we compatible with each other, and, you know, just collaborate, just how we do with the music, we doing this with the podcast. So.
And we're going to be giving y'all business advice on steps we're actually taking. We're going to give it to you for free, though. We're going to give you the game that we're doing in the step-by-step. You ain't got to pay for no classes, none of that. We just need you to hit the subscribe button and put us on, you know what I'm saying? Because we're going to definitely give y'all the love back and want to put people on as much as we can. So, you know, we looking for support in this podcasting, but, you know, we come from them environments where that we want to kind of like give you guys a chance to find a podcast that don't judge people, that don't set the standards on these young men that's coming up out of these areas. Because a lot of people would think that you're supposed to be a product of your environment when you don't. You do have a choice to move on with what's going on. You don't gotta follow nobody. I do believe everybody be a follower before they be a leader. You know, there's no such thing as a born leader, but I do think it's wise to pick your advice that you take from people and understand the do's and don'ts and what you're accountable of. Because a lot of young dudes from our environments, you know, some of y'all might be getting into gang banging, hitting licks and all that, and because you don't understand that you could say no, or you don't understand what's snitching and what's not snitching, or, you know, that's what we kind of want to inform y'all about on this podcast when we do these things.
So let's get into a topic. Let's discuss a particular topic.
We could talk about male. Some like, you know what thing I want to talk about? I want to talk about what I was just talking about, like masculinity.
Masculinity.
Masculinity. Holding young men to a standard being a parent, being a big brother, being a big homie. If you really care about somebody, you gotta make them fully understand how to be a man when they growing up. Cause a lot of dudes don't know the understanding. They might have a dad in their house, but be neglected all the time. And some of you OGs or some of you young dudes with influence might be thinking something right, and it really ain't right. You don't know these kids is looking up to you and they want to be like you, and they need the right advice coming from you. Because I know you could touch on the topic, KD. I know you done seen like a lot of kids gangbang, and then they run from it. Like I done had homies
I know a lot of niggas
from our environment that get put on the hood and move to a whole different city. Never you
back.
just took the ass whooping for no reason. You just ran off because your homies really not being homies. You was just a test dummy. Oh yeah. No, not the test dummy. We all products of that. Like I can speak on my own situation. Like I always looked up to my big cousins and the family history and all that. Before I knew what life was about, I was like, oh yeah, you know, my big uncle, he out here punking everything. My dad, a legendary nigga, they giving me all these stories. And I didn't realize I was signing up to hold myself to them man's standards when they don't even know why they doing it. They have their own reasons of doing it, and I didn't even really have that much going on to be jumping into the beat. Like, unfortunately, I do got some big cousins who gave me a talk and told me what I was signing up for, but the influence of my environment had me signing up for something that I was confused about.
That's when you figure out, like, no, I'm about to keep leaving. If you do,
Yeah,
like,
if you do leave, yeah.
not even like that, like, say you don't leave.
My mom was doing bad, so I had to move to the IE, but I did hop on the train. I did come to my hood with my family because my whole...
It's just that fact of not being around. Like, I'm not about to be around. I don't have to be a father.
Yeah. And then sometimes the homies hold you accountable to be there in the environment, and you really got way more important shit going on. Like some of y'all really be scared because your own homies is threatening you, and I done went through that. I done had my homies come way to the IE to give a nigga a DP, and it made me mad at the homies. Then, you know, I sucked it up because of politics. I really made the environment build me, the man I am today, and I had to take a lot of advice from this man and my cousin Rob, people who around the environment, but they got more mental control than I had, and come from, if not the same, the worse background than I come from. So I really looked up to these dudes for that too, and as I got older doing the dumb shit and started being smarter, I started realizing I was making mistakes for other niggas to prove something to them, and I can admit that. I was getting money already. It was my homies having hood meetings talking about, y'all gotta put us on money and all that, and I did shit for niggas, and niggas don't move how you move on licks. I done had niggas pistol with niggas, and I don't do that. I just finesse the bitch, or you know, or I might go rob a nigga that's, you know, I ain't shooting niggas, and then I escalate to that type of environment, to them type of choices because I'm feeling like I gotta prove something, and it kind of made me, you know, keep a distance from my homies for a long time because I started getting smarter and realizing, damn, I've been to jail, I've been to prison, I done sat in the cell with some of these lifers that's telling me that shit don't add up to nothing because none of these niggas putting money on my books. And I was in jail calling homies, like, just put $20 on. Niggas will answer that call, but they won't never send that dollar. So it was a lot of shit I had to learn. But this man to tell you how many times I came to advice and how many times he had to check me. And I feel like him and, you know, a couple other people in my life kept me out of the choices of hopping in a load for no reason, just because there's some niggas I was riding for that I didn't even like the nigga. He from my hood though, but I don't like this nigga. And when something happened, you know, niggas make you feel obligated. And I had big cousins like him, like, nah, nigga, you gonna have to deal with me today. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas better not scare you. You better not be scared of them niggas more than me, cause I see you every day, nigga. You gonna have to deal with me every day. So, you know, unfortunately, I had a lot of good guidance going through it, but I do have war wounds of being shot, stabbed in prison. You know, I got a couple stories we gonna get into, but I don't want to be, you know, taking over the podcast because, like some of the mental health advice you done gave me, you know, touch on the basis of how these niggas, like I was one of them dudes asking my big cousin, man, should I go? They telling me I gotta go to the hood today because we DPing niggas and we getting into shit and ooh, man, if you want to touch on some of that advice, man, because it was times I was like, nah, I'm scared of you, nigga. I ain't going.
Yeah, go back to being a father. You go back to leadership. Just being comfortable in your own skin. And I dealt with that. That's how I'm able to learn, know how to do it. Because I've had times where I feel like I gotta go prove this. I have to do this. Like when I was younger, of course, like man, I need to go talk to this person. I need to get Wooty Woo number. He a rider. I need to keep in touch with Wooty Woo because everybody respect him. I need to get advice from Wooty Woo. But then I always did have my own mind at the same time. So I always naturally being more militant minded versus gang minded. I always been more on some black empowerment versus black discrimination, what I call it. Because in the urban community, about 80% of it is, depending where area you in, is black on black violence. So you had domestic beefs and shit, but a lot of it is in the black community, other blacks beefing with other blacks. And I always thought in the back of my mind, I was the stupidest shit. Always, even when I went to jail, I just felt like how the whole politics working there with everybody.
Man.
The blacks is the strongest, but the weakest because we fight each other and everybody be watching us when you're in the dorms and them cells.
And that gonna be, KD, because when you think about it, it's really a mental thing for the black people. It's
very
nothing
mental.
physical.
That's how I'm able to move how I move.
And that's what he told me, and as I got older, my homies really respected the way I move because now they admiring the way I move. Some of them niggas want to do what you doing. So
Yeah, 'cause later on they catch on. At first they be like, niggas is weird, woo woo. But then after a while they be like, oh, that's what them niggas is doing.
Yeah.
That's what Wooty Woo was talking about.
It's been
And they all want
time.
to follow suit.
It's
And that's cool.
Yeah.
But it just takes some people longer. Some people never learn.
Some people
It's
never
like riding
learn.
a bike. Some people learn, some people never learn. It's just like, damn.
Some people never
Get you
learn.
at the racetrack, nigga.
And I can honestly say, like, it's a lot of homies from my hood that I'm like, you a killer, nigga. I'm thinking this dude is just never gonna change. And they just got around my big cousin and be like, damn, man, I be with KD all the time, man. I don't be fucking with the homies. Don't go to that shit today, man. Come with me and KD. You with me, nigga. What they gonna say? And this is like a big homie from my hood. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just realized the mental strength that I was gaining from doing all this. Like I was learning I was learning that certain people couldn't teach me better than the ones that I thought was, for my idea of my big cousin KD, it was like